What's good, everyone? Welcome back to Cleveland Sports Unfiltered. I had this video recorded yesterday, but I didn't replay back the audio, and the audio was trash. So, giving you my reactions the day after to Game Two. So the Cavaliers beat the Toronto Raptors in Game Two by the score 115 to 105. I got some good and some bad takeaways. Let me start off with the bad. The bad, the lack of bench production. The lack of bench production. Um, they overly reliant on the superstars and the timidness that you got from some of the bench guys. And, if you just look at it, go Sam Merrill, 20 minutes, 2 of 6, 5 points, 1 of 5 of 3. You're gonna need him to do better. Dennis Schroeder, 14 minutes, 5 points, 1 of 5, 0 of 2 threes, 3 of 3 from the free throw. Definitely gonna need him to step up even more. Keon Ellis, 9 minutes, 0 points, 0 for 4, all from three. And Max Struess, 27 minutes, 6 points, 2 of 5 from the floor, 2 of 4 from the three. And J- Jalen, Jalen Tyson. I'm sorry, I'm just used to his brother, so I've been hearing his brother name a lot, so been getting names confused. So Jordan, no, Jalen. Sorry again, sorry, Jalen Tyson, 12 minutes, 3 points, 1 of 4 from the field, 1 of 2 on three. See, those guys, you're going to need them to step up because the Cavaliers are transitioning to the road and we are heading to. Is their name still Scotiabank Arena? But anyway, we're going to Canada. The series flipped to the road. We're on the road now. And typically the role players play better at home, and we're gonna need and their role players are gonna step up, and we're gonna need our role players to step up because relying on Don James and Evan is not gonna cut it. You guys will need to step up, and I think they will. One of these games in one of these series, you will have a 15-point night from Dennis Schroeder. You'll have a a, a 12 point night, 4 3 pointers from Sam Merrill. He'll get his three ball going. He's in the slump. Bad start to the playoffs for him right now, but I think he'll get out of it. And he and the rest of the guys, you got to stop being timid. That's like one of the bad takeaways I had is like being timid and just overly reliant, and especially not shooting the ball. Last second, it was fuck here Don, fuck here James. No, you guys got to shoot. We need you to shoot. Definitely going to need you to step up on the road. It's going to a hostile environment, and Scotiabank Arena going to be rocking. They're going to be uber aggressive. They're going to come out and try to take the fight to you. Not try. They're going to come out and take the fight to you. They're going to come out and try to punch you in the mouth. They're going to come out uber aggressive on offense and defense. They're going to come out and trying to get that crowd involved, and they're going to come out uber rowdy not to go down 3-0. So, the role guys are going to need to step up. And another bad, another, you know, concerning little takeaway I had is, some of the fast break points that the Raptors were getting. And not just the fast break points off of made baskets. You know, you gotta contain that. Gotta contain that. You gotta do better ball contain and player contain and picking up, 94 feet if you have to, anything to stop that. But it wasn't anything crazy. But I do know like it was a good constant thing that they were doing off of Mays, just pushing the pace, especially Scotty Barnes. They're definitely going to get to the good in a minute, but those are some concerning things that we need to address, and just to stay out of the stagnation of the offense, because in that second, third, and a good amount of the fourth, the offense felt way too stagnant and way too reliant on Donovan and James to bail you out. But those are superstar players. In James Harden, he's a top 75 player of all time. Donovan Mitchell's a superstar player, superstar talent. And, those guys are bad shot takers and bad shot makers. So they're going to make those difficult shots. Luckily, we have those two on the roster. Luckily, those are guys who can take the bad shots and take the end of shot clock, Hail Mary, not Hail Mary, but, end of the shot clock, 911 call. I feel like Sam Merrill should be also one of those guys where we can rely on him. Max Strus at times is that guy who you can give the ball to in a 911 situation. He'll give you a three. Like, you'll just be like, wow. Like, wow. Max came back down to earth today. Yeah, where's Max? He's only 6 points in 27 minutes, but I think he'll play much better in my opinion. He played much better, obviously, in game one, but, this game is in a little. Well, he wasn't in foul trouble. How many fouls did he have? Did it say how many fouls? No, it don't say how many fouls. But no, I don't think he wasn't in foul trouble. So, but the rest of the guys, we're gonna need you to step up, especially if Kenny's gonna continue to play a 10-man rotation. Now, we all know as the playoffs go on that rotation will shrink to 7, maybe 8, pushing it for 9. So it won't be a continuing 9-man rotation. So you guys who want to be a part of that 8-9-man rotation, you need to step up. Especially you, Sam Merrill. Sam, you got to make your shots. You got paid to make shots. Now, I'm not the type of person who money watches and care about any of that, but for the ones who do care, that's what we're paying you for. They're paying you to make the three. And my frustration isn't with you not making the threes. It's with you not taking the threes. Like, yeah, you took what you took. You took 5, but I felt like you honestly should have had more. But I understand it. You don't want to hurt the team by continually jacking up shots. You felt like I took 5, I only made 1. So let me stop shooting. Cool. I can understand that. Also, buddy, you're the sniper of the team, or allegedly sniper of the team. You, Max, outside of the top 2 guns, you're one of the snipers of the team. You gotta make your shots because don't let Keon, Dennis, or Jalen get hot from 3. They're going to take your minutes. Your minutes will be taken if you continue to be in this slump, especially moving forward. But I do want to get to the good. The good, especially starting off with the defense, holding Brandon Ingram to only 7 points in 3 of 15 shooting. Man, we have to clap it up for the Vanilla Wolf. Get a Vanilla Wolf his credit. He catch so much slack from everyone. He catch so much shit from everyone. We all shit on D. Let me not say we. I'm not a part of that. I'm a Vanilla Wolf fan, but you do get frustrated with him sometimes. My frustrations is with his lack of aggressiveness on the offensive side, not the defensive side. The defensive side, phenomenal job by the Vanilla Wolf, Dean Wade. Phenomenal job. Scotty Barnes was rarely he was a good 11 and 19. Yeah, Jakob Pertl 2 points. He got benched, but I think the team will be okay with R.J. Barrett in 38 minutes scoring 22 points on 10 to 13. They're going to allow that. As long as they're in there controlling one of the top guns, like they did with Brandon Ingram yesterday, controlled him, hold him to that. You're fine with letting R.J. Barrett go off of 22. It is what it is on that one. Then you got Murray Boyles. 17 points, 6 of 10. Again, you're fine with that. He's not one of the top guys that killing you now. If you get RJ and Murray Bulls, and who is this? Jalen Walter, Jacoby Walter. If you get Jacoby Walter, Murray Bulls, and RJ Barrett, and you get Brandon Ingram all efficient, then that's a little troublesome because again, the role players stepped up, but we maintained the big gun. So that's what I'm saying. Our role players, you got to step up on the road. Their players did. It's y'all turn now. You got to step up on the road. We're gonna the big guns, Don, the core four. They're gonna need you. They're gonna give you what they're gonna give you, but we're gonna need you to step up in this series and not just be timid and constantly looking to bail to Donovan and James to bail us out. But another good thing that I love is that I know some of you guys were worried when they started to do what the Indiana Pacers did and picked us up full court. And James Harden is such a calming presence for the offense. He calmed all that down and nullified that. That was nullified. Kenny brought it up in his post conference saying, they tried to punch us in the mouth, and they brought that fight. They tried to pick it up full court, and he loved how they responded to that, and I did too. I loved how they responded to being picked up full court. Didn't let it rattle them. Of course, they got a few turnovers here and there, but it's the NBA. Of course, that's going to happen. But they didn't let that fluster them and speed them up and get them out of sorts and start just tumbling downhill. James Harden, like again, with his common presence as the floor general, calmed all that down and, did what James Harden does. James was 9 of 14. He was 9 of 14, 28 points, 3 of 8 from three, 7 of 10 from the free throw line. And the big gun, Donovan Mitchell, he had 30 points, 13 of 23, 4 of 10. Um, it just if he gets a little bit more efficient on that, and maybe is like 18 of 23, that's almost 40, especially if he's like, 6 of 10 from three. I'm pretty sure the Raptors don't want to see that. They don't have the firepower to keep up with those two when those two are hot and efficient. And again, Dean Wade didn't play. You look at the box score: 3 points, 1 of 3. He had 5 rebounds, 1 assist, and 2 steals. That was great, phenomenal. But again, he was one of the high. He was plus 14. He is one of the bigger factors on defense, and I love how he was hounding and he was grabbing and clawing at Brandon Ingram. Was not, you know, refused to be screened. He was refused to be screened. I love it. I love the physicality, and you're not switching on to anybody else. Man, we just gotta give Dean his credit, and Donovan even said it in their and him and James's press conference at the end. Man, we gotta show Dean Wade some love because he did a phenomenal job. He absolutely did a phenomenal job, and he, of course, because of the box score, is not going to get the recognition he deserves, but he deserves a shit ton of credit. And he's not always going to play that well on defense. Bi is an all-star level player. He's going to get his eventually. But what you can ask for, and what we've asked for the first 2 games, is to make it as difficult as possible. And the Vanilla Wolf has Evan Mobley, uber efficient, 25 points, 11 to 13, 1 or 2 from three. I love that he isn't settling for the three. He's attacking, and I love that he's setting way better screens. And I love that his screen game with James Harden is getting better. But that lob when Evan threw it down with the left hand, oof, Think of beauty. Think of beauty. And then he took two threes. Just, what you want Evan to do is to take those open threes. Both of them was open. He didn't make the first one, but made that right corner three. I forgot which quarter it was in, but it was a right corner three, wide open, was swung to him, or I think it was a loose ball. It was one of the two, but he made it, and went 2 or 3 from the free throw lines. Free throw in the playoff, his free throw percentage in the playoff isn't bad. You know, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 block, 1 turnover, and wow, he was only a +3. You would have thought he would have been better. He was more than a +3, but maybe because of the rebounds, because we did get out rebounded. Give me 1 second. Look at the team stats. Rebound. Total. Yeah, we got out rebounded 42-35. Free throw percentages was better, 82.4 to 63. That got an uptick, that free throw percentage, but all around, good game from the Cavs, good win. Not too much to complain about, in my opinion. Just you would love the role players just to step up a little bit more to help out the stars, and carry your end of the bargain, and the stars are going to do theirs. So, head and again, previewing Game 3, like I said earlier, they're gonna come out trying to punch you in your mouth, and they're gonna come out and bring that fight to you. They're gonna come out scratching and clawing and picking you up full court, and their role players are gonna make some shots. So how we respond to that early punch in the mouth is gonna be pivotal, and if we can weather that early storm, we'll be just fine, in my opinion. But y'all let me know what y'all think about that in the comment section down below. Give me your predictions for Game 3. Do we win? Do we lose? How much? And, all that goody good stuff. But, and until next time, peace.